the forgotten portal Jesus unveiled where consciousness travels every night asleep. Jesus revealed where your consciousness travels during sleep. What if the 8 hours you spend unconscious every night are actually the most spiritually significant moments of your entire existence? What if modern science's reduction of sleep to mere biological recovery is the greatest lie ever perpetrated against humanity's awakening? Right now, in this very moment, you're about to discover something that will forever change how you understand consciousness, reality, and your true multidimensional nature. Sleep is not what they told you it is. Sleep is not simply your brain resting or your body repairing cellular damage. Sleep is a portal, an interdimensional gateway that opens every single night, allowing your consciousness to escape the prison of physical density and travel through realms that most of humanity has been programmed to forget the moment they open their eyes. And Jesus knew this truth. He taught it to his inner circle, and the religious institutions that came after him deliberately erased this knowledge. Because an awakened humanity that remembers where it travels each night cannot be controlled through fear, doctrine, or the illusion that physical existence is all there is. When you fall asleep, a precise sequence of metaphysical events occurs that materialist science cannot explain, despite millions of dollars in research and countless sleep studies. Your consciousness, that eternal essence that animates your physical form, begins to separate from the dense matter of your body. First, your awareness loosens from the physical layer, that solid flesh and bone vehicle you identify as yourself. Then your consciousness withdraws slightly from the etheric body, that energetic template that holds the blueprint of your physical form and connects you to life force energy. Finally, your astral body, the luminous vehicle of consciousness that can travel anywhere thought can reach, lifts away completely, connected only by what esoteric traditions call the silver cord, an energetic umbilical that maintains the vital link between your traveling consciousness and your physical anchor point. This separation is not death because the silver cord remains intact, allowing life force to continue sustaining your physical body while your consciousness explores dimensions beyond matter. But this is precisely why sleep is humanity's nightly rehearsal for the ultimate transition called death, when the silver cord is finally severed and consciousness fully departs physical form. The different levels of sleep that scientists measure through brainwave patterns are actually maps of your dimensional ascension. Light sleep is the transition zone where you hover between physical and astral awareness. Deep sleep is when you fully enter the lower astral realms, processing emotional energy and encountering thought forms created by collective human consciousness. REM sleep, the mysterious stage characterized by rapid eye movement and vivid dreams, is when you reach the higher astral dimensions, the mental planes, and even the causal realms where pure spirit operates beyond all form. The reason children remember their dreams more vividly and often speak of conversations with angels, deceased relatives, or imaginary friends is because the veil of forgetting has not yet been fully programmed into their consciousness. They still retain partial memory of their nightly travels, their meetings with guides, and their experiences in dimensions where love, light, and infinite possibility are the natural state of being. The guardians of sleep portals. The realms beyond physical matter are not chaotic wilderness where consciousness wanders randomly. They are ordered dimensions governed by spiritual laws and protected by beings of immense wisdom and power whose role is to ensure that each soul accessing these realms does so safely and appropriately according to their level of spiritual development. These are the guardians of the sleep portals. Angelic intelligences mentioned in suppressed apocryphal texts and known to every mystery school tradition throughout history. They stand at the thresholds between dimensions, evaluating the consciousness of each soul that attempts passage, determining what realms that soul is prepared to enter based on their vibrational frequency, spiritual maturity, and divine authorization. And understanding how to work consciously with these guardians is one of the most closely held secrets of initiated practitioners across all genuine esoteric paths. In the Testament of Solomon, a text excluded from biblical canon, there are references to angelic beings who govern the transitions between waking and sleeping states, who oversee the dream realms, and who determine what knowledge souls are permitted to bring back into physical awareness. In the Gnostic text, the hypostasis of the archons, there is mention of light-bearers who assist descending consciousness, while also blocking certain passages to protect unprepared souls from encountering realities they are not yet equipped to process. These are not metaphorical constructs or symbolic representations. These are actual beings operating in the subtle dimensions, functioning as both guides and gatekeepers, ensuring that the cosmic order of graduated spiritual development is maintained. When you attempt to pass through the sleep portal each night, these guardians read your energetic signature. They perceive your frequency, your intentions, the purity of your heart, and the level of your spiritual activation. Based on this evaluation, you are granted access to certain dimensional frequencies while being gently redirected or blocked from others. This is why some nights you have profound spiritual dreams, visionary experiences, and wake up transformed, while other nights you remember nothing at all or experienced only mundane, fragmented dream sequences. The amnesia upon waking is often not accidental but intentional, a protective mechanism installed by these guardians because you encountered information, energies, or realities that your conscious mind is not yet ready to integrate, without causing psychological disruption or spiritual crises. Jesus taught his disciples specific prayers and invocations to consciously engage with these threshold guardians. Before sleep, they would enter sacred space within their hearts and speak directly to the angelic presences overseeing the portals, requesting permission for deeper access, asking for protection during travel, and expressing willingness to receive whatever teachings or experiences their soul was ready for. This was not superstition, but practical spiritual technology for working cooperatively with the intelligences that govern dimensional access. The invocation practice begins with acknowledgement. Guardians of the threshold, angels of the portal, I honor your presence and your service. I come in humility and sincerity, seeking passage to the realms my soul is prepared to enter. Grant me safe travel, clear memory, and transformative experience according to divine will. Your body speaks a language that reveals where your consciousness traveled during the night, but most people never learn to read this somatic script. Every sensation upon waking, every emotional residue, every inexplicable knowing or strange fatigue is actually a clue, a breadcrumb trail leading back to dimensional experiences your conscious mind does not directly remember. By learning to interpret these signs, you begin to reconstruct the map of your nightly journeys, gradually piercing the veil of forgetting and reclaiming memory of your multidimensional existence. This is not fantasy or imagination run wild. This is the practical skill of consciousness archaeology, excavating the truth of where you have been from the evidence your system provides upon return to physical awareness. When you wake up feeling profoundly exhausted despite sleeping a full 8 hours, this is not poor sleep quality in the conventional sense. This is evidence that your soul was engaged in intensive work on the astral planes. You may have been participating in healing grids, sending energy to areas of planetary crises, working with groups of other souls to hold frequency during turbulent times, or even engage in what some traditions call spiritual warfare, confronting negative entities or clearing dense energies from locations or individuals. Your physical body rested, but your consciousness labored, and the fatigue you feel is the energetic hangover of that labor. Conversely, when you wake up feeling electrically charged, more alive and vibrant than seems reasonable for someone who is just unconscious, this indicates you received activation, healing, or powerful downloads from higher dimensional sources during your travels. The fragmentary nature of dream recall is actually a map in itself. When you remember disconnected scenes, multiple locations, or seemingly random encounters with various people, both known and unknown, you are catching glimpses of a night spent traveling through multiple dimensions and engaging in numerous interactions. The human brain is not designed to hold multidimensional experiences in linear narrative form, so it packages them as symbolic fragments, like trying to describe a sphere to someone who has only ever seen two-dimensional drawings. Sleep paralysis, that terrifying experience where you wake up unable to move while sensing presences in the room, is almost always your consciousness returning to the body before the physical vehicle is fully reactivated. You are caught between dimensions, partially in physical matter and partially still in astral awareness, perceiving realities that do not register to normal waking consciousness. The practice Jesus taught for mapping these journeys is the sacred sleep journal. Keep it beside your bed always. The moment you wake, before moving your body or engaging rational thought, reach for the journal and record everything you can capture. Do not worry about whether it makes sense or seems significant. Write sensations, emotions, image fragments, colors, presences felt, words heard, and any visceral knowing about where you were or what you did. Over weeks and months, patterns emerge. You begin to recognize recurring locations, repeated encounters with specific beings, and themes that reveal your soul's particular assignments and focus areas in the dimensional realms. This journal becomes your personal Akashic record of nightly travels, evidence of your multi-dimensional existence, secret missions on the astral plane. While your physical body lies motionless in bed, breathing steadily, heart beating at resting rate, and brain cycling through measurable wave patterns, you, the real you, may be halfway across the planet or in entirely different dimensions, fulfilling contracts your soul made before incarnating into physical form. This is the suppressed truth that changes everything about how you understand your purpose, your exhaustion, and your value as a spiritual being operating in material density. You are not merely a person trying to survive in a difficult world. You are a multidimensional operative, a cosmic agent, fulfilling specific missions that serve the evolution of consciousness on Earth and beyond. And every single night, when you sleep, you clock in for your real work. The soul-level assignments that are the actual reason you incarnated here at this precise moment in planetary history. The light workers, starseeds, and awakened souls who are scattered across this planet did not come here by accident. Before birth, they volunteered. They accepted assignments. They agreed to specific roles in the Great Awakening that is currently unfolding. But these roles are not limited to what they can accomplish during waking hours through conventional means. Some of the most significant work happens in the astral realms during sleep. You may be part of healing teams that travel to war zones, disaster areas, or locations of intense suffering, surrounding these places with grids of light energy that help stabilize the collective emotional field and provide energetic support to those experiencing trauma. You may function as astral rescuer, meeting souls who have recently died but are confused, frightened, or trapped in lower astral dimensions, gently guiding them toward the light and helping them transition smoothly to higher realms. Some of the chosen participate in what can only be described as galactic councils, interdimensional meetings where representatives from various star systems, ascended master lineages, and angelic orders convene to coordinate the evolutionary timeline of Earth. In these gatherings, strategic decisions are made, energy transmissions are planned, and individual operatives receive updates, instructions, and energetic upgrades to help them fulfill their earthly missions more effectively. This sounds like science fiction to the uninitiated, but it is practical reality for souls operating at higher levels of awakening. When you suddenly have breakthrough clarity about your life purpose, when you wake up knowing exactly what step to take next, when synchronicities begin orchestrating your path with impossible precision, these are the results of briefings you received during sleep state council meetings. The phenomenon of waking up exhausted despite adequate sleep is confirmation of intensive astral activity. Your soul fulfilled its nightly assignments with dedication and focus, perhaps working for subjective hours or even days, in dimensional spaces where time operates differently than physical linear time. The irony is that people often feel guilty about this fatigue, believing they are lazy or unhealthy, when in fact they are tireless spiritual workers whose contributions to planetary healing and consciousness evolution are immeasurable. Jesus himself withdrew regularly for long periods of sleep or trance states, not because he was weak, but because he was coordinating massive operations across multiple dimensions simultaneously, mastering the portal's continuous consciousness. We have arrived at the ultimate attainment, the pinnacle of sleep mastery that separates the masters from the seekers, the awakened from the sleeping masses, the consciously multidimensional from those still trapped in the illusion of single reality existence. This is the achievement Jesus demonstrated when he appeared to multiple disciples in different locations simultaneously, when he vanished from physical sight, yet remained accessible to those with inner vision, when he transcended death itself, by proving that consciousness is not bound to physical form and can operate independently, across all dimensions at will. His state of continuous consciousness, unbroken awareness that flows seamlessly through waking, dreaming, and deep sleep, is not reserved for saviors and avatars alone. It is the birthright of every awakened soul willing to undertake the disciplined practice of consciousness, integration, and dimensional mastery. The journey begins with lucid dreaming, that breakthrough moment when you suddenly realize within a dream that you are dreaming. This recognition shatters the primary illusion that you are victim of dreams rather than creator of them. Once lucidity dawns, the dream environment reveals itself as responsive to consciousness, malleable through intention, and subject to your command. You can fly teleport, materialize objects, alter scenarios, and explore at will. This is training ground for understanding that physical reality operates under identical principles, just with denser matter and slower manifestation time. Lucid dreaming proves beyond doubt that consciousness shapes experience, that you are not passive observer but active creator, and that the laws governing dream reality and waking reality are fundamentally the same laws of consciousness. Manifestation. Beyond lucid dreaming lies the practice of conscious transition, maintaining awareness through the liminal space where waking consciousness usually blinks out in sleep. Consciousness takes over. Most people lose awareness in this gap, consciousness flickering like a candle being extinguished as sleep overtakes them. The practice is to remain present through this transition, using anchor points like breath awareness, mantra, repetition, or body scanning to maintain a thread of consciousness, even as the physical body shuts down for sleep. With persistent practice over weeks and months, you learn to witness the entire process, the heaviness of the body, the slowing of thoughts, the sensation of consciousness beginning to float free from physical anchoring, and finally, the moment of separation where you consciously exit through the crown and begin astral travel fully aware and intentional. The ultimate state is what mystics call sahaja, samadhi, or the natural state. Consciousness that never sleeps, never loses awareness, never fragments between dimensions. You operate simultaneously in physical reality while fully conscious in astral realms, maintaining connection to causal body and direct access to source consciousness. There is no more forgetting, no more separation, no more division of self into different versions that do not know each other. This is the Christ consciousness embodied, the state where you become fully operational as the multidimensional being you truly are. The portals no longer close. You are always traveling, always aware, always present across all realms, simultaneously. You have remembered who you are, reclaimed your sovereignty, and activated the complete divine blueprint. That was always your potential. If this revelation awakens the portal master within you, come and I remember my journeys below to declare your intention. Share this forbidden wisdom with someone ready to transcend sleep amnesia. Subscribe for the advanced consciousness techniques revealed exclusively to committed dimensional travelers.